Okay, in today's lab, we're going to calculate the number of moles of paraffin wax in a crayon. So crayons are composed mostly of paraffin wax with a negligible amount of colorant. Negligible means the amount of colorant is so small it's not significant, we don't really care about it. The molecular formula of the paraffin wax is C25H52. And we need to use the molecular formula, you remember, to calculate the GFM of the paraffin wax. So the first step we're going to do here is mass the crayon. So we want to know how much the crayon weighs. So we'll take a crayon, and it could be any crayon. But in this case, the mass of the crayon is 2.58. So we'll say it's 2.58 grams. And then the next step we're going to do is color in this diagram. We're going to use just one color here. So I'm going to color in this mole. And again, we're just going to use one crayon because we want to calculate the number of moles of paraffin wax that we're actually leaving on the piece of paper here. Okay. So as we rub the crayon across the paper, we're obviously leaving some of this wax on the paper itself. And we want to calculate how much or how many moles of wax we're actually leaving on the paper here. So how many moles of wax are we using? All right, and again, you could use any color crayon here on this. Crayon, of course, works better than a colored pencil because for a crayon, we actually know its composition. We know that it's actually made of paraffin wax, whereas in a magic marker or something like that, we're not really sure of what it's composed of. Okay, so we colored in our mole. Now the second step here is to take the second mass of the crayon, and we see we're at 2.51 grams. 2.51 grams. Now we have to do our calculations, right? So we had a beginning weight. So this is what the crayon started out as, 2.59. And now we're at 2.51. So we have to calculate how much of that crayon was left on the paper when we did the coloring. Okay, so the rest of the calculations you could do from here and calculate how many moles we put on the paper.